Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals Dragon Ball Super episode 65 thoughts. Now, even though I'm giving my thoughts on the latest episode of Dragon Ball Super, my main focus is going to be episode 66 coming out next week, which there will most likely, I can't guarantee that there will be, but there will most likely be a live reaction for on the second channel, because that episode looks fierce. Looks very fierce for a few reasons. But before I get to that, this episode 65 of Dragon Ball Super. The Zamasu fusion, I knew was going to be powerful as all hell, obviously. Well, everyone knew that. But I really don't understand why he keeps the immortality. That I found a little bit strange. The immortality was granted upon Zamasu's body, but when he fused with Black, he becomes an entirely new being. Even though the psyche of Zamasu is in Goku's body, hence Goku Black, it's still Goku's body. And it's been warped because of the Zamasu psyche, but technically it's still a Goku base. So my whole thing here is that Goku Black is not immortal, but Zamasu is. And the wish for the Super Dragon Balls was to make Zamasu's body, like the base of Zamasu's body, immortal, not the fusion Zamasu. So when you have the earrings, you create an entirely new being. So why does that being now still have the immortality of the previous being when the wish was for the previous being? It is what it is, like, because at some point, well, we know that they're going to overcome it, obviously, but how they do so, I mean, the way things seem, it looks like Goku and Vegeta, and in the trailer of the next episode, Vegito, it looks like they're gonna muscle through the immortality. Like, I don't know how that works, because, like, you see Zamasu in the next episode via the trailer, you see how, like, his body's kind of, like, pseudo melting away, like, there's, like, some purple slime going across, like, his right arm, like, his right face. So what's going on there exactly, I'm not too sure. Maybe that could be what I'm talking about, where because he's a whole new being, he's not like fully immortal. Like, there's some irregularities there because he's no longer the original base Zamasu, but he is a whole new being, because it's not like the fusion dance, it's the earrings. So, I mean, that's what I'm thinking is going to be the case in episode 66. But in episode 65, we get to see the power, we get to see a few techniques, we get to see, like, some thunder duck thing, like, that was behind him, like some purple thing. It had like its own like life force, like the way it was like moving and acting. He created like an energy being of some kind, and it does this attack called the Lighting of Absolution, which is a pretty, okay attack. You have the Heavenly Wrath, I believe that's called, like the energy ball. You have also the Blades of Judgment. So the attacks were okay, relatively speaking, and in all honesty, the attacks, they're of course fairly powerful, very powerful in fact. And according to what Goku and Vegeta were saying, and what they were all saying actually, goes like a sense key, the energy output of Zamasu, this fusion Zamasu, was more than any being that they've ever felt thus far. So, based on that statement, this guy is probably stronger than Beerus and Whis. Now see, that's a stretch, but you had Vegeta and Goku and everyone there. Everyone was like a sense key. They said, yo, this is the most energy we felt thus far throughout any being we face. Now, granted, of course, the exception here being king of everything, all right? Zeno, all right? So he's an exception, obviously. Potentially speaking, this guy, this Fusion Zamasu, is at least stronger than Beerus. But let's understand here as well that Whis or Beerus have not utilized 100% of their powers. In the film, Battle of Gods film, Beerus said himself that he only used, like, I think it was 70% of his power when he's fighting against Goku in his God state. If you just take it at face value of what Vegeta and Goku said, Zamasu should be stronger than at least those two. But again, there are some discrepancies there, obviously. Moving on from that. So, the techniques are relatively okay, and he has a crap ton of power, a crap ton of ki. But because the animation makes it so these attacks are like, man, compared to what we've seen before in the past of Dragon Ball overall, I mean, again, I have yet to see an attack in like modern day Dragon Ball Super, like the modern day Dragon Ball era. I have yet to see an attack that is like comparable to the final flash of Vegeta against Cell, Well, that shit was freaking huge. It was like the northern hemisphere of their planet, and then it just went to like deep space. Where are these attacks? Like, clearly, Zamasu's far more powerful, but the attacks, they look like multi-city block, building, they look city, island level attacks when they should be like multi-planetary. So like that's the thing, it's like we are not like properly scaling the output of damage that these characters should be dishing out as the series goes further and further along. The more powerful they become, the less and less damage we see overall. So what the fuck? I mean, Beerus was an exception initially because he came in there, was like poking plants to oblivion, but at the same time, when he started fighting seriously, instead of poking plants to oblivion, it was, okay, huge, and then it was one building destroyed. It's like, dude, what? Like how do you get raw and one building's destroyed, and you go like this, and then plants are going poof? I don't like it because you're not matching the actual output of power. But either way, the dude has more skills, and they're fairly interesting from certain standpoints, especially the lighting of absolution, purple lightning duck thing. Now, I also want to point out here that when it comes to full Super Saiyan God form, which is Super Trunks, like, the fact that he can even, like, remotely compete to a certain extent, I think is ridiculous. But in this sense, he did get a swing in, but Zamasu was like, nah, bro, chill. And then you have the father-son Gallic Gun, which was pretty cool. All right, Vegeta, Trunks, or Gallic Gun, wherever the stance is. Hey, Gallic Gun right there. That was cool. And then they overwhelmed Zamasu, but he is immortal, or perhaps pseudo-immortal. He blocks the attack, and then Vegeta takes the lightning attack for Trunks. So Vegeta is out until they fuse him and Goku. And then you have Goku go one-on-one with the same attack. Now, maybe not as powerful. Let's assume that it is, for argument's sake. The same Holy Wrath, Goku solos that with a Kamehameha. And that's where the episode ends off. Whereas Trunks and Vegeta had to do a combo. They had to do a combo for that. Combo that. Goku MC for a reason, I guess. There was one moment where, like, you see this little girl. She was running towards Trunks' sword that was cut in half. Now, that's going to play a role in this. Obviously. Potentially speaking, since this is like the future Trunks arc, Trunks is going to ultimately end the fight. Even though you're going to have Vegeta and Goku fuse make Vegito. You see in the preview of this episode, Vegito, he's going in hard as fuck. He's slaughtering. My guess here is that ultimately, Trunks is going to make like an energy sword from like the hilt of the broken blade, and then he's going to just slam it down, and then Zamasu's going to die. That's my guess. And also, I want to point out as well, when the lightning bird purple duck thing was destroyed by Goku and Vegeta, and like they dove into it, it was a little purple like orb, marble, that cracked, and that being like disappeared. So what's going on there exactly, I'm not too sure. That marble may be a key to something bigger later on when it comes to Zamasu's powers, but do note that there was a little marble that Goku and Vegeta destroyed when they destroyed that purple lightning duck being. Finally, when it comes to the next episode of Dragon Ball Super, episode 66, I was asked by two folks, why not Gogeta? Why make it Vegito? And to me, it makes the most sense simply because Vegito is actually canon, whereas Gogeta is not canon. You have a movie, and then you have GT. Now, of course, fuck GT. One of the main reasons why we're having Dragon Ball Super to begin with is because GT existed. So GT gets axed, and then you have the one appearance in the movie, and that's it. When it comes to the actual canon material, Vegito is real, and Gogeta is not real from a canon standpoint. Now, granted, he could have just done Gogeta, absolutely. Though, he may have called it something different. Maybe not Gogeta, but something else entirely. But still be the fusion of Goku Vegeta. But at this point in time, you're better off having a permanent fusion like the E-rings, which would probably make a stronger being, as opposed to a temporary fusion, which may not be, because this goes back to the whole Gogeta versus Vegeta, who's stronger. I would say Vegeta automatically because, again, you have a permanent fusion there, where the other one is temporary. But also, from the standpoint of you're dealing with an immortal being. So there's no guarantee that you can get the job done in, I think it's like 30 minutes technically, but I believe it was done in GT, which shouldn't be really counted. But the more power you output when you're fused, the less time you have in that fusion form. So if it was a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan fusion of Goku and Vegeta, there'd be a lot less time in that fusion state if it would be Gogeta. But when you're a permanently fused Vegito, there is no time limits to worry about in the first place. And so that whole immortality thing, if you can muscle him out of the immortality, then time could be a major factor there, but that time is no longer an issue if you have the permanent fusion. So, to me, all in all, it makes sense that we're getting Vegito as opposed to Gogeta. And also, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. When it came to the trailer of the next episode, I could have swore the animation, I saw a bit of Naotoshi and the boys. I don't think I'm wrong when I said that. Because there's some scenes like when Vegito kicks Zamasu in the face, when Zamasu's powering up, you kind of see the fluidity that you would normally see when it comes to a Naotoshi and the boys animated scene. So, again, not too sure, but I think I'm right when I say that. I believe Naotoshi's taken apart in episode 66, and that gets me even more hyped. So, episode 65 is overall okay plus, and I am looking forward to seeing episode 66. That being said, I am done. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day.